What's up, YouTube? Oh man, so we're gonna do a video today. The struggles of what to play next when you have that huge, massive collection or that large backlog. That's what she said. But he did it. He did it. All right, guys. Seriously though, when we're talking about having a large collection and stuff like that, and the backlog is literally sheets of paper long or shelves full of stuff, it's sometimes hard to figure out what exactly to play. It's a huge struggle. We all know this. I personally, it took me selling most of my collection before I was finally able to discover, hey, you know what? I really don't need this much crap, and now I can figure out ways to play games that I actually want to play again. So, what are some tips and tricks to do this? Now, obviously, we gotta figure out what your goal in mind is. Like I said, are you trying to get through backlog? Are you finally starting to try to find time to play that one game you really wanted to play, but you're just playing too many damn games at once? Because that was a huge issue I had. I recently just had a discussion with somebody talking about how I had the bad habit of buying too many games at one time. So then when I would get a new game, I'd want to play that one instead of the game I was currently playing. And so I just ran into a never-ending cycle of buy a new game, quit playing the old one, play the new one I just bought, and then going from there. So, I mean, that was a huge struggle. So that's something we got to figure out first of all is if that is something that sounds like it's you, then stop buying new games. I mean, even if you're excited for this new game that's been coming out, you've been waiting forever, but you've been enjoying a game that you're currently playing, maybe just have a little patience and put off for a little longer on buying that new game, because that way you can have the opportunity to play and beat your old one. Now, I made up some rules when I sold most of my collection and I started playing, my backlog was I cannot buy a new game until I first beat a game from my backlog. This kind of helped me a lot with my issues of just jumping onto the next game, and then running into issues of just a never-ending cycle of never beating any games because I just kept playing new ones. Otherwise, the other huge issue, obviously, we talked about, is you just have too many damn games and you don't know what to pick. A huge problem with this is just, analysis or paralysis by analysis, where you just keep kind of like, okay, I kind of want to play this game, and then you pop it in and you play for like 20 minutes and you're like, never mind, I don't like this one, I'm going to play a different one. So then you pop another game in for like 20 minutes. A huge thing that I can compare this to is obviously things like Netflix or Hulu or stuff like that, where you literally pull up a massive wall of interesting movies, videos, TV shows or something, and you're all, even if they're on your wish list on there, you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to pick. There's just too much stuff to pick, and then you just end up scrolling, endless scrolling. A lot of people I've heard use the term doom scrolling, because that's all you do is you just scroll. So some of the issues with this, obviously, I mean, that's a huge issue. But some of the tips to kind of get through this is you have to make a list. I mean, if this sounds like you, then you have to make a list. You have to set a goal in mind. And like with anything in life, even in life, nothing with like playing these games in the backlog and stuff like that. Anything in life, it always helps. I can't remember what the study was, but I think it was something like 70, 80, 90% of people that had issues doing stuff were able to do it better if they started a list. So they would just put their list down, 5 things, and then scratch it off as they accomplished it during the day. And it was so much easier. People got stuff done a lot more. It kind of kept you more on focus and more on track. So a big thing is, I would start off with obviously making a list of the games you want to play, that you've been saying for the longest time, hey, I want to play this, I'm going to do this. For example, right now I've been playing Skyrim again because I've been wanting to play Skyrim for the longest time. And with the recent announcement of the expansion that's supposed to come out in September, or the rumors anyways, I've been really wanting to get to it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to start playing some Skyrim. So that'd be like on the top of my list. But stuff you can do is like, because there's obviously other games I've been wanting to play. I got the Tomb Raider Remaster Collection. I've got the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection, and I've gotten a few other things. Those would all go on my list. Now, the problem with that is, then we got to weigh our options. We got to figure out, okay, so now we got this list. what do we play first? Now, there's two ways you can do this. The most obvious way is obviously which one do you just feel like you want to play the most. Um, this for a lot of normal people, this is pretty easy. You're just like, okay, well, I've been wanting to play this one for the longest time. I'm just gonna play this one. So that's what you do, and you play that one first, and then you just kind of work your way down the list. But a lot of those other people out there that run into that issue. Well, I don't know. I kind of want to play this one. Well, I don't know. I kind of want to play this one. Somebody recommended this a while back. Is taking a randomizer and basically putting those games, or like I think you can go to wheel names or something.com, putting all those games on that wheel, and then spinning that, and whatever comes up, that's what you play first. And the big issue with that though is you have to commit to it. You got to commit to, okay, this is the game I'm gonna play, and whether or not you want to play it to completion or you just want to play it for a couple hours. Obviously, with a lot of old retro games, obviously you can't you can beat them in a couple hours, or stuff like that. Obviously, there's some RPGs that are gonna take your whole summer to beat, but you got to almost commit to what you want to do, because otherwise you'll lose the interest fast. Now, a lot of issues I had, like I talked earlier about jumping into games and only wanting to play 20 minutes and getting bored of, and then jumping to another game, playing for 20 minutes and getting bored of that one. You're gonna run into that, and in all honesty, I can't help you with that, because I run into that issue all the time. There's literally nights and stuff like that where nothing good looks good for me to watch. No movies look great, nothing like that. It's all just, you know what, I don't know, this doesn't look very good at all, and then you just kind of nothing, just watch it. Obviously, I think what happens with that is you just need to find your comfort, your go-to game, your comfort game. Skyrim used to be that for me. Like I said, I had a discussion the other night with Fox, and we were talking about games that are kind of like your goats. Super Mario World, Sonic. Some of those games are just like games that I can just go back to. Some of the Call of Duties, and I can just play mindlessly. And what that means is I can just jump on. I don't have to think too much about it. I just play the game. I personally love Super Mario World. I could play that. I usually play that through once a year, and that's one of those games where it's just like, if I don't know what to play, I just pop that in. Same with like COD or Call of Duty. Sometimes I'm not a huge first-person shooter fan, but if nothing else looks good, I'll just hop on Call of Duty and play a couple rounds online, or play some of the classic zombie maps and stuff like that, because it's just something to do. Because a lot of times I really want to play the games, I just don't know what to play. So sometimes just having those comfort games might help you play too. Because like I said, I entitled this "How to Pick What Game to Play Next" in that huge collection you have, or just in general your collection at all. It doesn't necessarily have to be huge. If you're just struggling with what to play next, sometimes just finding a comfort game and just relaxing. I mean, that's huge. A lot of people don't understand that. People are all like, well, I want to get this new game, and you spend so much time worrying about stuff that at the end of the day, you just want to sit down and relax and play a game, right? So if it's Super Mario World, if it's zombies on Call of Duty, if it's Animal Crossing, I mean, just whatever it takes to play the games. Because a lot of times you got to be in your comfort zone, you got to be wanting to play, and sometimes those are the best games to play. So for a follow-up of this video and what we've discussed, obviously if you have a huge collection, make a list. Pick a game from that list to play, or if you struggle with even doing that, just use a randomizer. Anything online, you can do a number generator, you can do wheel of names or anything like that. Or if like I said, if it's just something as simple as, I've been really wanting to play this for a while, now's the time to do it. And a lot of times, if you want to, you might have to commit to doing that. You might have to commit to playing that game. And always remember that sometimes playing a game in the beginning is hard. Like, for me personally, it sometimes takes me a while to get into a game. There's been a few games in my life, Elden Ring and a few others, where I played it for 2 hours and I freaking hated it. And it took just a break and going back and trying it again, getting to know the characters, getting to understand the game a little bit better, and then I, in the end, loved it. So, I hope this video helped you guys. Lastly, though, and the last thing is just sometimes just find a comfort game to play. just sit down and relax, because who knows, sometimes you might play in Super Mario World or something like that, and then it might ding on you, hey, you know what, this game actually sounds kind of fun. It's similar to this Super Mario World. It's a platformer or whatever, and I've been really wanting to play it. So you know what, now that I'm in the groove, why don't I play it? I'm not an expert, guys. I always say this. I'm not an expert or professional in any of this stuff. I just say it how it is, try to do it raw, and tell you guys exactly how I do stuff sometimes. But I know it's hard, especially when you get free time. You know, you find everybody's kind of out of the house. You get the house to yourself for an hour, hour and a half, and you just want to sit down and play a game, and then you don't know what to play. It's freaking hard. But yeah, make a list and just commit, man. Let me know in the comments below if there's been a game on your backlog recently that you jumped on that you finally got a chance to play and that you're finally super happy that you did. And let me know. So, that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay retro, my friends. We'll see you in the next video.